So if you're like me, you're kind of rushed in the mornings, and I do this about once a week, and I figured I would show you how I do this. I actually like to make my kids oatmeal in advance, and I put them into individual little packets. You can use these little brown bags, or you can use Ziploc, whatever you prefer. But I found that if I make up the oats into the little packages, then it's just faster, and all you have to do is add your milk or water, and you have an instant breakfast. So instead of buying the Quaker or really the other brands of the instant oatmeal packets that are flavored, you can just make your own, and it literally just takes a few minutes. So for time purposes for the video, I'm just going to show you how I make a couple of them. And the easiest thing to do is just to take a measuring glass, because that way it'll pour easier into your little bags if you have a spout there. And I'm going to take, for every serving, so I'm just going to make one serving of each kind, and then I'll make the rest of the packets and come back and show you how I do all of it. But for the first kind, you're just going to take a half a cup, and make sure you use the quick oats. Get a measuring cup out of here. Just get a quarter of a cup one for right now. So there's a quarter and 1/2. But yeah, make sure they're quick oats, because obviously you want them to you want to be able to just add the water or milk to them and instantly be ready. So there's a half a cup of the quick oats. And then for this one, I'm going to do blueberry and maple. That's what my little boy likes. So, but the next necessary ingredient for any of it, I guess you could probably do it without this. I just prefer to do it with the powdered milk. You can use regular powdered milk, but I use the coconut milk powder. You're going to add about 2 teaspoons. I have a tablespoon here, so I'll almost fill up the tablespoon. That'll be about 2 teaspoons of the powdered milk. And then since he likes the blueberry maple sugar, I'm just going to get some dry blueberries. And there goes that in the floor. Just put a handful of the blueberries in there, because remember, you're just making one serving. And then the maple sugar. This is really, really good stuff, by the way. I always just put things in the glass jars, and then I just tape my label on there. That way I remember what I bought, especially, I don't know why my dog's barking, especially if I like the brand, I don't want to forget what I bought, so I just tape the label on there. So, I don't know, maybe a tablespoon, close to a tablespoon of the maple sugar. About 2 teaspoons. That'll sweeten it enough. And then I'm just going to stir all of that in there. And then that way it's ready. And you just put it in your little bag. Just like that. And just fold it up, and you can just take a permanent marker or whatever you want to do to label it. That way you know what flavor it is, and they're ready. And I make up like 8 of each, and you just stick them in your pantry. You can staple or paper clip them if you want to, but yeah, you just have your ready-made oats there, and all you do is you just heat your water or milk. I just put some water in a teapot, enough water for how many servings I'm going to make. Just put the water in the teapot. Heat it up to almost boiling, and then dump these in each of their bowls, and then just divide the water up and just pour it in there. However, you know, some people like it thin, some people like it thick. But literally, your breakfast is ready. You're just adding the water or milk, and you have these packets ready for the week or 2 weeks, however many you want to make in advance. For the second kind, I'm just going to do basically the same thing. My daughter likes the cinnamon and brown sugar, so I'm just going to add the half cup oats. That, and actually I'm going to make her cinnamon raisin, so I'm going to put my powdered milk in there, about 2 teaspoons, put a little bit of cinnamon, maybe a teaspoon of cinnamon, and throw some raisins in it. Handful of raisins. And then to sweeten it a little, instead of using brown sugar, I use coconut sugar. It's a lot lower glycemic. It's my favorite kind of sugar. I've pretty much switched over to that. I think it's just a healthier option to sugar. I do use regular raw sugar, the organic kind in my baking, but a lot of times you can just substitute it out for coconut sugar. I'm going to add about a teaspoon and a half, 2 teaspoons of that, and then you're just going to stir that up. And sometimes the powdered milk will clump, and you can just crush it down. And it'll dissolve too when you put the hot water in it, so you don't have to be too picky about that. But then you have cinnamon, raisin, oatmeal ready to put in your packet. And again, all I do is I make up about 8 of each flavor and just stick them in the pantry. Heat up the water. While the water's heating, I dump these into their bowls and you're finished. Quick and easy breakfast, ready to go. You have your own individual oatmeal packets that you can pre-make. And not only is healthier because there's no preservatives or anything like that, but it's also cheaper. I mean, these are pennies on the dollar compared to what you're buying at the store. So there you go. That's the quickest breakfast for me anyway. And hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.